So, Patrick, you would say that the headwinds for Nvidia are more focused on the macroeconomic challenges than even, say, Wall Street's expectations or the valuations around the stock?
I would say the stock price is absolutely, but when you look at the growth, the 100, 200% growth, this is all about delivering Blackwell on time, like Jensen said on the call, doing that with the highest level of compatibility with the best yields that has a positive impact on costs and hence margins.
It might be an unfair analogy, Patrick, but I mean, this gives me the vibes of what Microsoft went through in the late 90s, early 2000s, especially as there was so much rapid innovation within software, and Microsoft was trying to make sure that it could stave off competition and grow out its business. Now, we saw what happened in the stock thereafter. We saw the legal proceedings that played out. How much of what's happening with Nvidia right now is analogous to what took place with Microsoft, and for investors to try and draw comparisons right now?
When Microsoft was put under the microscope over 2 decades ago, it was like putting sand in a gas tank. It slowed the company down. It slows every company down. You literally have to get legal approval for pricing. You have to put it in writing. Everything you say is going to be captured. It fundamentally slows a company down. I don't believe, like Microsoft, that the Department of Justice would try to break up Nvidia like it tried to do. And by the way, it did get a ruling that it did need to get broken up, but that was reversed on appeal. But Nvidia needs to very much watch what it's doing. And what's interesting is you always have complaints. And I think the complaints that we will see later who came forward is more than just direct competitors. I also believe these are likely some of Nvidia's largest hyperscaler customers out there. Quite frankly, nobody is comfortable out there with Nvidia having 90% market share out there.
And so with that in mind, just briefly, is it an AMD that perhaps is best positioned to be one of the other companies that both investors and customers start to look towards as an alternative to Nvidia?
AMD is the next best replacement, particularly because they both have GPUs, followed very closely by Broadcom. The counter to a GPU is what's called an ASIC, and those are primarily built by Broadcom, and they supply Amazon, Microsoft, Meta, Google across that. And an ASIC is more efficient than a GPU, but not as programmable. In 25 and 26, I would say Intel will likely be a factor with their GPU-based designs.
Patrick, always a pleasure to grab some of your insights here with us this morning. Thanks for joining us ahead of the opening bell as we're all tracking NVDA this morning. It's Patrick Moorhead, founder, CEO, and chief analyst over at Moor Insights and Strategy. Thanks, Patrick.